Hi, Susanna. I apologize for today. If I can do one better than writing by email, I can read your questions out and I can answer them sort of face to face. You can see my face on screen. So, first question: do infrared saunas produce negative ions? I currently put my salt lamp for my sauna with me, and that produces ions, but I don't know that if the sauna produces ions by itself. Interesting. So, to my understanding, infrared saunas produce infrared light, and infrared light, when it hits your body, makes you produce negative ions inside your body for you. So like aged urine has, fresh urine has some negative ions and aged urine has loads of negative ions. Infrared light from sunrise sunset technically produces negative ions because when you're outside and your skin is exposed or your head is exposed to sunrise sunset, your skin, the infrared hits your skin and goes deep within, and then it causes your body to produce its own, it activates your body's ability to produce its own negative ions. So to answer your question, yes, infrared saunas do produce negative ions because they give you the infrared frequencies that hit your body and make you produce your own negative ions. So the answer to that question is yes. When energizing water, urine, in sunrise, sunset, sunlight, do you have to put the jars outside, or can you set the jars on a windowsill to get exposure to the sunlight? So that's a great question. When you put water in the sunrise, do you have to put them outside, or can you put them in a jar on the inside? Now, that's an interesting question, because actually there's certain frequencies of light like UVB, and I think it's purple, that can't penetrate through glass. However, the most important sunrise, sunset, the red light therapy is the most important to supercharge water, to structure water and to structure aged urine. And we know now, hopefully through me, you guys know that the reason aged urine is so powerful, the main reason, because it's uber super structured water. So urine ages faster when it gets infrared hitting onto it, which causes it to produce more negative ions. But coming back to your question, interestingly, infrared goes through windows. UVB, UVC, and some certain colors don't. So actually, yes, you can put your urine jar on the windowsill at sunrise, sunset time, and it will charge. It will do that. However, a very small percentage is lost through the window, not much. So if you're a super geek, I always recommend putting it outside. However, not much is lost, and if you can't be bothered, just put it inside the windowsill. And yes, the infrared is the most important frequency of light, but leave the lid open as well so that the infrared doesn't have to go through an extra layer of the windowsill and the lid, and it can hit the encapsulating us from the surroundings on the top. So if that answers your question, if you're a super geek, put it outside. If you're not and you want to save time, it still does it through the windowsill. So that's good. Okay, next question. When exposing water urine to sunlight or red light, is there an optimal time to charge them for? What is the minimum exposure time to charge them to get a benefit? Right, when exposing water to sunlight or red light, optimal time is as long as sunrise, sunset's going on for. And as far as I'm aware, find sunrise, sunset time and think 2 hours before that time and 2 hours after that time is the amount of time that the infrared is dominating the skies, whether that be invisible infrared or visible red. So think 2 hours before sunset time, 2 hours after sunset time, 2 hours before sunrise, 2 hours after sunrise. So 4 hours and 4 hours, 8 hours a day is the optimal. But obviously, all is good. If you manage to age the water or structure the water, put it outside, like say half an hour only, but it's like an hour before exact sunrise time, that's still within the window of 2 hours before. So you've got sunrise here, 2 hours before, 2 hours after is the window for structuring for sunrise. 2 hours before, 2 hours after, any time in between that. Sunset time, 2 hours before, 2 hours after. And funny enough, 2 hours after sunset, it's dark. You think there's no medicine in the sky, you're wrong. The invisible infrareds are in the sky. So that's that one. Susie? Have you ever nebulized urine? So do you have any guidelines, instructions? Yes, I have nebulized urine. So my friend Matt Senna and me, and I learned about it from others in the community on Facebook, have nebulized urine, and I think it's amazing. If you're unhealthy and you use a detox, it will most likely give you a fever. Even if you're relatively healthy, you still might get a fever. So be careful. Do it one drop at a time, and please go slow when you're nebulizing, just in case. If you're not getting any reactions, go and take some more, breathe some more in. The older, the better. Stuff that's months to a year old will most likely cause a fever, depending on the person. So be careful. However, when you do have fever, recognize that that's only temporary, and it's because it's so powerful way to get The nebulizing transforms the liquid aged into a gaseous liquid, and that really goes deep within the lungs and causes some deep set healing. It seems to reach places the aged urine in a gaseous form that doesn't normally reach, hence the fever. Very powerful way to take aged urine. If you have the time, the dedication, the willingness, try and make that part of your protocol. Do that every couple of months. Check in with a nebulizing on the aged urine. Amazing. So that's number 4. Have you ever used chlorine dioxide? Do you know if it produces negative ions in the dioxide? Chlorine dioxide, and do you know if it produces negative ions in the body? Heard of chlorine dioxide? I think it's MNS. I've heard very good things. You'd rarely find me, Holistic Health Harry, bash any of these protocols. Chlorine dioxide, I've heard of, is good. MMS, the ones you rub on the skin, they're all good to me. Does it produce negative ions? I'm not sure. I do know chlorine dioxide is a good thing. So yes, please, Susie, mess about with that, definitely. And do you have a preferred company for red light therapy that you recommend? What should we look for when buying a red light product? Oh, that's a good question. Right. I recommend, first of all, you get the book. And I'm going to get the name wrong here. So 1 second was I go on Amazon and get the name of this book right. Because this guy knows his shit on red light therapy. So he'll give you the answers you need. Right, here we go. Wait, I remember the name now. His name's Ari Whittam, the author. Ari Whittam. And the book is called The Ultimate Guide to Red Light Therapy by Ari Whittam. And in that book, he recommends specific red light machines that I've tried and tested and the best ones for that price. And he also recommends the ones that last the longest, give the most power, and give the correct frequencies. He talks about the correct frequencies and all in that book. Juve, off the top of my head, are amazing. One of the best companies to get. There's some okay ones, and Juves are the best. Be careful in getting ones that are too small. You want to treat larger over the bodies. I'm assuming, Susie, too, you want to do it for urine. So maybe a small one might be okay for that. But you want to make sure the frequencies are right. So check that book. Ari Whittam's The Ultimate Guide to Red Light Therapy. Definitely. I hope this has helped answer your questions. If you have any more, please email me and I'll answer them in this format. I like this. Cool. Peace. Bye.